welcome back to Medicine Tarot. This is going to be a little look into love for July here. If you've never been here before, welcome. I hope you subscribe so we can find each other again. I feel like there's a lot of new tarot readers on YouTube now for whatever reason. You've walked away from something, or like something has ended here in June, at the end of June, and it's still dragging you down, right? It's still dragging down your power. And I feel like the big message there is exactly, it's dragging down your power. And even though we use that term so frequently, like when it, about power, what even is power, right? What does it mean to be in your own power? Because it can be so confusing too when you're out there, you're trying to love, you're trying to give, you're trying to show up for people in the right way. It's like there's a fine line between abusing your own power and standing up for yourself and being guarded. It's like what is the fine line between all those things? And that's exactly what Spirit wants to bring home here. Is that's what you're learning for yourself. And I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit, because I think you learned a lot more than you think you did in this last relationship. This is definitely for my singles. Let's take a look. Yeah, and I see here a lot of you were like, I don't understand why this ended. There's a big part of you that's holding on to it because you're like, but I don't even know why. Like, I don't even get what went down on some level. You're experiencing a lot of emotions of self-criticism, because when you really break it down, at the end of the day, it just feels like rejection. Even if you rejected even if you broke up with the other person, I'm not seeing who did what here, but it's time you're coming out of that energy of stagnant, dull, not breathing, not expanding, because this was a tough battle. Even they're saying, like, even if you didn't battle a lot, something about like this battle really took a number on you, and like you're not sure about how to come into your inner wisdom right now. You're still trying to navigate coming into your own wisdom about how to let this go, right? And how to end this tough cycle. The end of the tough cycle is approaching, they're saying, but just the biggest message right now is don't carry the entire weight of everything that went wrong on your shoulders, because you're doing this, right? You're making it all out to mean something. There's no part of you that's like, maybe he was just shit and that's all it is, right? Or she, maybe they were just that and that's all there is to it, and it really has nothing to do with me. You're not doing enough of that. And I want you to start gearing your thoughts more in that direction, because they're saying until they resolve this, until they come out of the illusion, there's still some illusion around who this person really was. Until they come out of that illusion, they're not going to have this new start, but it's time to go. It is. It's time to turn towards something more supportive of you. And so, are we realizing now that we have somewhat of a tendency to sign up for relationships that aren't that supportive of us in the long run? Yeah, good. Surrender stress. Surrender the stress. Yeah. For some of you, I'm hearing these thoughts like, gosh, I've been on this thing for a long time. Like, when can I just rest from these relationship issues? Like, I just want to be done with this. Surrender to miracles. Miracles are coming. Yes, I'm doing hopeful speaking. I'm just doing some medicine of hope here. But that's in the direction of where you are going. It is in the direction of you aligning with your benefit and being supportive of yourself no matter what. The answers you need are coming. And they're saying you saw this person in a light that you didn't want to believe. Right? They're like, you saw them for who they were in certain times, but you shut your eyes. You became blind because you didn't want to see who they really are. And so that's okay. We've all done that. Just relax now, because you are magic too. Okay? So when we find someone we think is amazing, does that warrant us giving our self-compassion and self-love away, right? Because that's the definition of codependency. And so is this what they've been dealing with a little bit? A new dawn is coming. Yes, look at this. And I love that there's this idea of your chest expanding and opening, and your heart releasing that wound, releasing the wound from your heart back into the universe and saying, thank you, I've had enough, I release this now, right? So that you can stretch yourself back into the wholesome. Faith, you know how they say it can't too blessed to be stressed? Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. But let's keep going. What am I doing here? Let's keep going. Okay, so now that you're in this place, you're like, okay. It's funny, you're not just saying, I'm not going to move forward with this. You're saying, I'm not going to move forward in this way. This carousel has stopped for a reason, Aries. Right. Again, the Knight of Swords in reverse. It's like really like stop motion. Boom, and the Tower. The universe, my darling, I'm sorry, this is hard. The universe is calling a halt to absolutely everything in this relationship sector for you. Just full on Chariot in reverse, Knight of Swords in reverse, no movement. Did I say no movement? Yeah, boom. It's time to completely dissolve this vibe you're in, and the vibe of what you allowed this person to put you in. You're coming out of it. Good. Yes. What are you dissolving? This is why the Tower showed up for you, because you need to, they're saying, how are you interpreting what people are giving you? If they're showing you affection or love, you may be interpreting it in this one way, but it is actually deceit, right? They may be deceitful. So just because someone says, I love you, it doesn't mean I love you. Just because they call you and text you doesn't mean that they're doing it for the right reasons. And I know this is the hardest lesson to learn as a person dating or in love. I know. But here's the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. They're saying just because this is the dream, this is what you want to move towards, doesn't mean that you can close your eyes, right? That you can close your eyes when someone is showing you something that looks like it, right? I show you something that looks like money. You take it because you're like, oh, it's money. Not so much. There is a need here to be a more judgmental and harsher, to really still keep a lot more hidden and guarded before, until you really see the true colors. You are the Queen of Wands. You're building new love and new relationships in July. You're moving out of this and you're becoming really untied. And I'm going to say this, you're becoming woke to your own patterns, and you're becoming woke to the codependency with which you attach yourself to negative partners with. And listen, attracting someone who's ends up really hurting us, that's not codependency. That's called human life. It's how we respond when we pick up the red flags, when we start seeing more of this person and we don't like it. The way we respond is what is considered codependency, right? So codependency is not being a broken, unhealed, dumb person. No, it's about I haven't learned tools that will allow me to keep myself safe and to create enough distance so that I am also giving myself compassion rather than just giving to the other person. Let's just be clear on that. Also, if you've been struggling with codependency for a long time, I specialize in that kind of coaching work. Information below. But let's keep going. So the structure of relationships is changing, and you are realizing that unless you listen, you're growing. Unless you are admired and seen and approached in a way of the Empress, as if you are the Empress, this magnificent, abundant, kind of luscious and juicy, creative energy. If that's not the structure of your relationships, then you are not in charge of bringing new love in. It's this kind of balancing act that needs to happen within your energetic life at this time. And darling, blaming yourself or saying that you don't know or that you always make mistakes, any of those stories that are painting you in a negative light are not true and they're not helpful. So boom, we're coming totally out of self-criticism here. There's a need in July here to really, really release any relationships that are making you feel unhappy and to not keep moving forward. So you may even on some level be cutting out some people other than, lovers. But this is the point. You are so hardworking when it comes to your relationships. You put in so much effort, Aries. And they're saying here, yeah, it's the realization that we have to stop working, that we have to really stop working so hard and come more into strength that turns the wheel of fortune around for us. It's this kind of releasing. It's all about releasing. Releasing need, releasing expectation, releasing need. Did I say that? Releasing control, just releasing. Meeting people and finding it super fun and not caring about where it's going to go. Always coming from a place of, if this is the right person for me, it will be proven. They will on some level prove it. I will prove to them on some level that I am this match. The energy will move like this. But unless you have that back pull, right? Because Aries, in this last relationship, you were the one who was just like, yeah. Like you thought they were the bee's knees and amazing. You were just giving. You didn't ask them for things. You were just giving. And then at one point, what happened? You came out of balance. So the harder you work, especially in the first 6 months, the more out of balance you'll become. And at the end of the day, your energy is just gone. And so releasing, just releasing. It's all about release in July. And I want you to go and have a lot of fun, because you are cleansing your system at this time and you are recalibrating recalibrating your whole emotional body and wiring it differently here to receive love, or to, I want to say, even date in a different way. And you know that. You feel it deep in your bones. And you know you are not running out of time, okay? Yeah. Let go of that weight. Let go of that weight. Where did this weight come from, Spirit? Where did this weight come from? Yeah. No matter how you spin it, your internal wisdom guides you into the right direction. But if we feel that we are not following it because we're afraid of making a mistake, okay, then we will unintentionally and just naturally take on way more weight than we need to, right? So it's a bit of a lack of self-confidence. But what that lack of self-confidence really is saying, oh my God, I found someone, I need to make this work. And that's a great thing. Yes, relationship require work, but it's the fear of losing something, because it's a fear of being rejected, because it's a fear of not being good enough, because it's a fear of, and it just tracks you back to, and then all the work that you put into making it work or whatever, this is what's attached to it. Weight. Because on some level, you're still blaming yourself for something, right? And you are healing that now. And if you recently found yourself deep in this kind of emotional void and hole, Spirit is saying, it's like, we're sorry, but you need to look at this, like you need to see this. Because this whole pattern has to end, and you have to move on out of this. You have to realign with feeding yourself. Because if you forget to feed yourself while you're in a relationship, you're just going to carry weight, and then the whole thing collapses, tower, boom. And it's what we call a codependent energy stream. I'm a transformational coach, you guys, as well, and I know exactly what this is about. And it's interesting because the one thing people don't know is that this isn't your fault, and this is a way you've learned to act in spite of evidence, right? When you speak to yourself internally, right, there's still some unclarity around what it is that you want. And you might say like, oh, I want this, this, and this, and this. But Spirit is saying, no, that's not the right structure. I'm sorry, this is just really how that came out. You're not totally sure about something yet. And I don't know what that is. It has something to do with your wishes. What is this wish? Oh, you're not recognizing that you are persisting in something. You're okay. You're not recognizing that you're okay and persisting in a negative thing, even though it's really hurting you. Because there's a belief that you have to stick it out and deal with it and be the strong one and be the one that fixes it, even though, boom, you're carrying the weight and you're coming undone. So that, my friend, is part of your intrinsic structure. And Spirit's saying they're not good at ending this. They're having a hard time ending this, putting death and end to it. So what do they need to do? Yeah. What you need to do, darling, is just take time to heal and maybe even get get someone who can assist you with this. It's so hard to see when we're coming from our body out. It's hard to see all of our stuff. We need that outsider perspective to assist us. You're holding on to an instability from the past. This could have been a past relationship. It's really rocked you. It's time that we don't look at that anymore. It's time that we stop looking at that. That experience made you feel very dishonored. Dishonored. And here you are. You need to start moving out of that, right? Because it's time to get unstuck about your idea of the 10 of Cups. So because of this past experience, you may have certain ideas about your happily ever after that are keeping you stuck. However that translates. So yeah, it's definitely moon energy. It's that murky, subconscious kind of part of you that your needs are making you do things that are not actually in support of you. Please, more help. Thank you. Yeah. Again, the 9 of Cups. Yes, you can absolutely have your dreams. Yes, you can absolutely have what it is you want. The point of you getting what it is you want, though, has to happen in a way that is not jeopardizing your emotions and your well-being, because you're not just working with meeting people online and dating them. No, you're dealing with what your energetic body is manifesting and is accustomed to. We don't manifest things that feel extra, right? Like, you don't manifest out of the realm of possibilities. It's always in some kind of realm of possibility. And because of this negative experience in the past, however long that took, it really is just pulling you. It's like, it keeps pulling you back into the same place. And time is coming to pass a judgment on like this entire thing and just bring it down to you're drawing a line in the sand for yourself. So this place is not fun to be in, but that's okay, because it's actually the solution to everything. So they're saying as soon as you become clear about this thing, let's just call it a thing. As soon as you become clear about what is not working for you, what isn't aligned with your passion, aligned with you being wanted, right? Wholly, completely, totally. Once you figure out what this thing is, then judgment is able to come in and give you permission to surrender to your full power. This is what this whole thing is about. Done. Surrendering to your full power, which to you, Aries, means I have the power to tell someone F no when I see a red flag. I have the power to not make excuses for someone, because I would never make those excuses for myself. You're carrying the weight and the burden of others. ¿Por qué? Right? Because you're trying to hold the vase broke, and you're trying to save the water from spilling out, and you're tensing up, right? That's how that works. So this is all about surrendering to your power. And that's scary for people, because they're going to have to become, the word is not assholes, but they're going to have to hold everybody accountable, including themselves. That's why people don't enter their power. Because they're holding everyone accountable, including themselves. And I know so many people, you guys, people don't take responsibility. Oh God, no. Yes, my beautiful. Surrender, denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decision. Okay? Surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Right. So even though you're holding this broken glass and you're going, I need to figure out what's going on here and etc. You need to stay with people that light you up. Be with friends that make you super happy, that make you feel confident, that give to you. Friends that are really, really good at giving. Those are the people I want you to surround yourself with right now, because it's you need to be gentle with yourself too, Aries, okay? There's nothing wrong with you, okay? It's just that this is a time where we come out of denial. We make sure everyone takes responsibility. They won't in person. They won't call you up and say, sorry for I'm going to take responsibility. No, they won't do that. But you push that quote unquote thing of blame and weight, you push it back on them. Let them carry it. Free yourself. And as you do that, you move forward. You move out of this static place. Yes. And beginning to balance out love and connection in your life, and how you are making choices when you have come across someone who's interesting. This is a lesson that you have learned before, and you keep dabbling in. And if you're ready to get out of it, my contact info is below, aka if you need assistance. But there's so many amazing people out there who can help you with this codependent energy flow. You don't need to walk around and say, I'm codependent. You don't speak those words. Just know that you have this tendency and it's screwing with you. It's screwing with you. And so we educate, we restructure, we heal the emotional body, and we move on to our really caring, really loving people. Okay? I hope this served you well. Thank you for liking. It means so much to hit the like button. Rock and roll. You're incredible. And I will see you soon. Bye.